What's going on, guys, and welcome. My name is Chris, aka RebelPack92, and you are watching This is the Waypoint, the one and only Star Wars discussion show right here on the Shared Screens Podcast Network. This weekend was the big one. Celebration happened. So much got announced, and we're going to sit here and talk about as much as we can in as short amount of a time as possible. So buckle your fucking seatbelt, because we're going at light speed, you know what I'm saying? One of the ones and twos is always, we got Alec Bobco.
Hello there.
Deep underneath the ground is some other Josh.
Hello there.
And then first time ever guest on this show, the one, the only, the adorable Boba Shingo.
Hello there. I had to do it. Everybody else did. So.
I'm so happy we did that, because Josh tried to get it last episode when we were talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he was the only one.
Nobody coordinated it.
Nobody did it.
No, we didn't talk about it. Nobody talked about it. That's fair. All right. Well, like I said earlier, this weekend was Star Wars Celebration 2022 in California, Anaheim.
Yep.
Anaheim.
LA,
right,
just
right? Yeah.
close enough.
Whatever. Yeah, it's California. It's California is all just kind of one. It's over there, you know. So it's just kind of one thing to me. You could say California and San Francisco. I'm pretty sure they're next to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever.
Yeah. You know.
I think they're like 9 hours apart. That's not true, but I think you have to fly. But I did kind of want to discuss. There's a lot to talk about, so I think we'll maybe just say one or two things about every big thing. But it wouldn't be a celebration if we didn't have just an unbelievable amount of very large news. And I think the biggest one that I want to talk about, of course, was not shown to the public for reasons. What a weird decision. They're like, hey, I know that we haven't had one of these in like 3 years. I'm not going to show it to you. None of you get to see it unless you come. Like, even though we, streamed it in the past, I can't be too mad at you, though, because we got to see, if you're sneaky, a teaser for Mandalorian Season 3. And it looks good.
I'd say if your TikTok feed has any relation to Star Wars, you saw
it. Yeah.
That was how I found out it happened.
That was the thing about those three, like within that 3 years since it last happened, is TikTok has blown the fuck up. So it's like you can't claim it. You can't claim it anymore. You used to be able to like get it on Twitter, get it off YouTube, and take it down. And like you hear that like some people saw it, like your friends saw it, but you didn't see it, and like good luck finding it. But now like there's like 15 different versions, all cycling through TikTok.
Mine got nuked mid-watch. I was on Twitter. I watched it. I hit share to go be like, yo, hey, I got to show this to everybody. And when I reposted it here in the Shared Screens Discord, it had already been taken down. And I went, shit.
Oh my gosh.
And then Josh was immediately, TikTok, here it is. I have it. You wanted to see it? Here it is. Here you go. Some really cool stuff coming out of the Season 3 trailer, just in that we got to see a live-action shot of the throne on Mandalore, with one Bo-Katan Kryze sitting on the throne. So I mean, with the voiceover of Din Djarin himself saying, it's like, I'm gonna go redeem myself by going back to Mandalore and doing stuff there, I guess. We're getting live action Mandalore, though. I don't know what's left of it since the raising of it, but I mean, it's like, how do you guys feel about that? Are y'all stoked for it?
I'm excited. I think, in my opinion, the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, I love it so much, but the story is like every couple episodes we progress the story, which is like a big complaint. It's very fetch questy and stuff, which is fun to watch, but like I really want that arc to like continue. And I feel like this season 3 of Mandalorian is what I want. It's that continuation of that arc. It's like, okay, we're getting somewhere now. Like let's go. I can't wait to see this. Bo-Katan is like the villain. Let's go. This is gonna be great. Yeah.
I love that vibe. I love her like saying to Grogu, like, you thought your dad was the only Mandalorian. Like,
also shout out to her straight up calling him his dad, by the way. Said the word dad, and I went, oh.
But it's super menacing, and like now seeing this trailer in retrospect, like I'm super glad we got a lot of this stuff out of the way in Book of Boba Fett in terms of reuniting. Getting the Naboo Starfighter, all that. Sure, we could have gone for like 13 episodes instead of like 10 or whatever.
I was just saying that second episode is just how you start season 3 of Mandalorian. You know, whatever. It doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
don't care. You know, it doesn't. We've talked about this before enough.
I'm glad it's out of the way. My man Babu Frick gonna be in the season.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Best
I was
show
not
ever.
expecting that.
There's the fucking they walk past a tree that is all just salacious crumbs. So fucking cool.
Kowakian lizard monkeys.
Oh yeah, exactly. This is gonna be the best season of any Star Wars show.
I love the consistency in every season of Mandalorian. There's one shot that's just got at least one like Kowakian lizard monkey in there somewhere. Because when they first announced the Mandalorian at Celebration years ago, which the same thing was, it wasn't initially shown to the public either. There. I just remember watching the crowd shot, and as he's walking around on Navarro, like headed back to the Mandalorian Coven, right? There's just a Kowakian lizard monkey in a cage, and the whole crowd goes insane. They're like, which I love that, and it'll be interesting to see Bo-Katan in this, kind of like antagonistic looking role, just as far as like how imposing she appeared, like on the throne, and the sort of like sinister sounding voice over there, just because like. I don't know that they necessarily have that relationship yet, but I mean, he's got the Darksaber, you know, like she's going to be gunning for that, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But it'd also be interesting to see how, like, once Din is on Mandalore, how that's going to progress. Like his already kind of shaky faith within his own like Mandalorian coven, right? Like his last encounter with Bo-Katan, where she's like. Dude, y'all are weird. Like that's strange what you guys are doing, and most Mandalorians don't do that. And she like mocks him with her own like this is the way, and him being cast out. Like I'm curious to see if he'll actually end up like going back to that, or if we'll just see him kind of leaving that sort of zealotry behind.
Yeah, I mean that's a question I have with the whole show. Is like I couldn't tell you where this is going to be in a couple seasons. Like at all. Like I don't know what direction they could take it. This is like the not obvious, but the expected direction of like, okay, yeah, let's have him take the throne or whatever that next thing would be. But I don't know what they could do. I mean, the possibilities are literally endless, but you know.
He's gonna have the Darksaber. Someone is be like, you should take the throne, and he'll be like, I don't want it. She's the queen.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. But in Jon Favreau, we trust. He already said he like confirmed he's ready in season 4 based on the events of Ahsoka too. So it's cool knowing that there's a roadmap for this.
And you know, I'm real glad you mentioned Ahsoka because again, not shown to the public. Ahsoka teaser.
Were you guys able to see this one? The Ahsoka
I saw
teaser?
this one. I did see this one.
TikTok.
I looked around and everything was gone. I looked around on TikTok, could not find it. So all I really saw was that final shot of like the Rebels mural with the back of Satine's head. That's all.
They were harder on the Ahsoka one than they were Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I had a hard time like looking it up again today to try and watch it one more time. But it's really quick. There's not a lot to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I think they've only been filming it for like a week or something.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really early in production.
Yeah. Also, the biggest surprise to me on that one, I even put out a tweet about this, is why are people so surprised that Rebels characters are going to be in this? Like, did they not watch the show? How that ended? Like,
and that's also something Filoni has said for a while, where he's like, no, this is a sequel to Rebels. Like this, like we're continuing like the search for Ezra in this. And no, also she straight up says in Mandalorian, like, yo, where's Thrawn?
Yeah.
Like that's clearly the impetus here. That's the MacGuffin is finding Ezra and Thrawn, which is really, really cool. Mina Masood again kind of tweeting me like, hey, congrats to the Ahsoka team for that cool teaser. And I'm like, you're Ezra. I know it. I'm positive you are. I'm feeling it. He's gotta be. Yeah. But it was very cool to finally see live action Satine and Hera and Chopper, and that
they brought Chopper
Sabine,
out.
excuse me.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I said Satine instead of Sabine earlier.
I do it a lot. I do it a lot too close.
Did we see Sabine? I could have sworn we only saw the back of Hera's.
Yeah.
And
I see Sabine. She's like looking at a mural. It's real quick, but you can see like the pauldron on her shoulder. It's like clearly Sabine's armor. And then the actress for Sabine was there at Celebration as well.
Yeah, she was on a couple panels.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah,
but yeah, then they also brought out live action Chopper, which is really cool.
Yeah, best droid. Just gonna say that.
BD1.
BD1, yeah, no, I love BD1.
See, they're tied. They're tied for me. It's like Chopper. It's like
a lot of good droids lately. Yeah, you know, I'd even throw K2 in there.
I was gonna say, do we think that Sabine will somehow, since we're going back to Mandalore, will we see her in season 3 of Mando?
That'd be interesting because they're supposed to take place around the same time, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's sort of like a backdoor pilot into Ahsoka through Mandalorian, since they've already kind of teed up the Ahsoka Thrawn plot.
Yeah.
Kind of do a little something with one or two of the Rebels crew in there as well, especially because it'll be on Mandalore. You got the Sabine connection there. I can see that happening, especially as she's also somebody that has wielded the Darksaber before. Like I can see Sabine being present.
Give him some training because he was struggling with the Darksaber in season 2.
That would be cool.
That could be tight.
Oh my god, if they have live action Sabine kind of parroting the same things that Kanan taught her on Rebels, I might cry.
Right?
I could also see it being vice versa too, where not necessarily them being in Mando season 3, but Mando being in Ahsoka. Ahsoka show, and then that whatever happens in Ahsoka is then the, like Jon Favreau said, is how he's going to write Mando season 4.
I hope that Mando doesn't show up in Ahsoka, because that kind of makes me feel like they're almost scared to do a live action project and not have the Mandalorian be involved with it. And I would rather, I would like some things to stand on their own a little bit.
Who do you think's going to deliver Leia to Bail?
Yo, it's Din Djarin. It's little kid Din Djarin, bro.
It's Din Djarin, yeah. First up, literally.
He just shows up. He just shows up. It's the same armor, but he's like a teenager, so it doesn't fit him very well.
Yeah, exactly. He's coming back.
My god!
Spoilers for Kenobi, by the way. But if you're here watching Celebration stuff, and
you've seen Kenobi already,
yeah.
And if you haven't watched Kenobi, fix your life, bro. Leia's in it. Exactly. We're way past the release date. Go figure it out.
Episode 2 is episode 3 is like tomorrow. The next day.
Oh my god, it is.
2 days.
As of recording.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait. What a great time to be a Star Wars fan, including the next of our Disney Plus projects here, which people have been sleeping on. They're continuing to sleep on even after we got a trailer for, but we finally got a trailer for Andor, the 12-episode 2-season show, showing the sort of seedier behind-the-scenes stuff kind of going on, directed by the same guy that did the Bourne trilogy. We're getting a Star Wars political thriller.
And written by one of the same people that wrote Chernobyl, which was incredible.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yes.
Interesting.
And there's a bunch of the Chernobyl actors in the show, too. A lot of them.
Now, I got a question for you guys. In the trailer that we got, did things look more practical? Like, it looked like less volume.
It's not shot on the volume at all.
See?
Really?
And that, it shows. It shows. I thought the trailer was way more impressive than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's not shot on the volume at all. It's all on location in sets. Yep.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it's shot like one of the movies, which I think comes across really, as much as the volume is incredible and the technology is amazing. Like, I mean, even to look at like the Batman, which part of that was shot on the volume, right? Like, it works. It really, really works. I think now that people know it exists, I think people are starting to see the edges a little bit. I still think I'll take it over like traditional green screen personally.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there is something about them actually just being physically in that spot and shooting there and getting like natural lighting and all these things that it's just the trailer looked good.
Yep.
Just visually.
If you know me, you know that I think Rogue One very mid. Like, it's okay. It's easily the most overrated Star Wars. People say it's the best Star Wars since Empire. I'm like, dog, there's so many better Star Wars to pick from. And this trailer did not.
Stance of this is the waypoint.
This I know I'm the odd one out. I know everyone thinks I'm fucking crazy and I get shit on this opinion all the time. This trailer did not sell me on why it needs to exist. Andor was definitely the weakest in the Rogue One squad. I think, why not K2SO? K2SO is the most compelling. K2SO is the most compelling character in that squad, and I much rather have a K2SO solo project where he's goes from Imperial droid to learning to fight for a higher cause and a higher powers like the Republic, or I'd rather prefer buddy cop, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier style, but it's Rebel spy and the Imperial droid, and it's Andor and K2SO, and it's a buddy cop through and through. Andor on his own, weird decision. The things that I did like, similar to Rogue One, I did like seeing Phase 2 clone troopers. It's like, when's this taking place? That's very interesting to me. The transport shuttles look very much like the gunships.
Yeah. So it takes place, I believe, 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. So, or no, I'm sorry. I believe 10 years before New. I think it takes place around the same time as Kenobi. Now I think about it.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember seeing a
I
tweet
think
somebody saying that
it's 10 years. When did hold on,
Kenobi,
I thought it was
let's look this up right now.
Survivor.
Let's look this up right now.
Yeah, I thought I was reading that the episodes are split, so half of it takes place like a couple years before Rogue One, and then the couple years leading up to Rogue One, or something like that.
Interesting. In which that might be where
And
we're
Andor will take place 5 years before the events of Rogue One and A New Hope.
Oh, okay.
Meaning the series will overlap with the events of Star Wars Rebels. That's very interesting. Which I guess makes sense though, because Mon Mothma is clearly a central character to the show. She's featured very like prominently in the in the trailer. Now, as far as seeing those clone troopers, we know from some expanded universe materials, and it's kind of briefly referenced by Cassian himself in the movie, that his parents are separatists. And so that's kind of what he meant when he's like, I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old. His parents were separatists, and so he's kind of always sort of been a rebel, is the idea. And so I think that's probably a flashback that we're seeing towards the clones, because if the parents were separatists, they would have been fighting against the clones in the Republic, which is cool.
And one thing that could immediately sell me on the show, if we're still, they're like, we're in the Empire era, but we're still getting that Phase 2 clone trooper armor. Give me the Bad Batch in live action.
Ooh.
Have them all wear their armor. Keep Bradley D. Baker as the voice. Have them all in armor, and have them or Rex, cloaked Rex, be the catalyst for him getting into.
That could be cool.
Fight. That would.
Hell yeah, dude! That would be awesome.
I would
love
that.
Yeah, Josh, I'm kind of with you. Whereas, like, when they announced that Andor was happening, I was like, really? Do we need an Andor show and stuff? And so this trailer really impressed me, though, the way it was shot, and just it looks different than the other Star Wars projects we're getting right now, and that was enough for me to be like, I'm open to it now. We'll see what we get.
It's very striking visually, which there was a lot of like white and orange, which I wasn't like really expecting. I thought that was super super cool. But the thing about the announcement in Andor, it's initially when they had announced it, I was like, that's an odd choice to focus on Cassian. Like, we know where his story ends. But I think the idea of, or at least going in with the mindset of like, this is a show about Cassian, I think is not necessarily the best, and I just don't think that there's a great way to kind of title it without walking into a naming convention like Rebels or Rebellion or something like that again. But I think it's more going to be focused on the early days of the Rebellion than it is Cassian himself. But the idea of who Cassian is like this sort of like Black Ops, like Shadow Ops kind of saboteur that works for the Rebellion, where, I mean, he mentions in Rogue One, he's like, dude, I've had to do some nasty stuff in the name of the good guys. I think that's an interesting enough concept for a show to kind of be the baseline of it. And I mean, it's like, I know some people complain about it, but I'm kind of a sucker for all the stuff that takes place between episodes 3 and 4, man. You can keep making stuff in that era, and I'm gonna eat it up, dude.
Yeah,
I'm here for all that. Just not Cassian. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so K2's confirmed to be in it, though. So
dope.
I'll say, before we go on to the next thing, I want to say shout out to the audio design in this trailer, like with the gong and like the warning signs. Like,
oh yeah,
the sign was cool when they matched it with the as he was hitting it. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Yeah. I love that.
Between that and Eclipse, more just drums in Star Wars, please.
Put more drums in Star Wars, man. Especially if you got to have like these big hammers and you got to do like cool stuff first before you can hit them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Little choreography.
Absolutely.
Speaking of trap beats in Star Wars,
hey, you want to talk about cool fucking music? You want to talk about a rad ass trailer? Let's talk about Bad Batch Season 2.
Oh my god!
Woo! I'm excited for this one, dude. And I think what's fun about this announcement too, because I know we posted it here in the shares because we all been talking about it last couple of days, is that I do think it's one of the properties that's kind of slept on a little bit. I feel like it's a little underrated. It kind of goes under the radar. But here at Shared Screens, we all loved it. I think that's definitely one of the outstanding shows here.
Took a bit to get going, but man, when it goes, it just goes places.
See, and I liked the start of it a lot, and then maybe 10 episodes in or something, I was like, this is like scratching to a halt right now. Like I'm just not interested in it yet. But I heard I got to push through those couple like the mid-season slump, and then
the mid
it
part
goes.
of it, the mid part of it drags, but then you get to the back half and it picks back up again.
Yeah,
for sure, to the point where they could have trimmed the fat a bit of it. I think.
I definitely got to jump back in. How many episodes was it at the very end? Was it
16? I want to say.
That
Okay.
sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to figure out where Jabba got his Rancor from.
Of course.
Yeah. Necessary stuff.
It's important. It's important stuff.
That's probably the episode. I remember that.
The middle parts definitely had a tendency to kind of give us the same story beats over and over again, where it's like, no, Omega, don't run off. Omega, how could you do that?
Yeah,
oh, Omega, you did the thing. I guess you are a capable child, and they did that for like 6 episodes. Omega. But I think now that we're past that, though, now that we're past that, and we've hit season 2, and everyone has cool new outfits. Right after I started collecting all of the action figures.
Yeah,
of course. Literally, the first thing I did was hell yeah. Oh my god. The first thing I did was I looked up just a bully stealing lunch money from a kid, because this is what Disney's doing to us. They know damn well what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
They have redesigned the entire Bad Batch. They're giving them the drip. They're adding some colors to the armor, and it's like, god damn it.
Blue Hunter's wearing a scarf.
Yeah,
and Omega's got a hat.
I'm like, god damn, I'm just gonna have to re-pick up the Lego sets, re-get the Black Series. Like y'all just doing me dirty like
these
this.
motherfuckers.
Also, they're adding Omega into the mix too, with her new armor.
Oh yeah,
it's just
she's got her own armor and everything, which is cool, man. I'm excited to see that character progression there. I saw I think a perfect summary of this. Like whenever I think about the Bad Batch, I just kind of like remember it making me like sort of kind of like feel warm and cozy. Like it was a really, really great like comfort food Star Wars show. And I was trying to figure out why that was, and eventually I just recently saw somebody talking about why they were excited for season 2 on Twitter, and I would credit them. It was a kind of a random based on your likes sort of thing, which is also what 80% of my timeline is these days. Can I see what my friends are posting, please? But they boiled it down to that in the grand scheme of things across Star Wars, like the story of the Bad Batch is kind of inconsequential. They're not doing a whole lot that's really affecting the larger the universe as a whole, and that's why I love it so much.
That's why
it's this easy thing to sit down. It's a smaller thing that just kind of takes place within this. The focus is on the characters rather than the impact the characters have, and I really like that.
Yeah,
right. One of the big things I caught on to after the fact, because people breaking it down, Cody is in this, and I wanted Cody to show back up in Kenobi, maybe like working under Lord Vader, but then we see a 501st dude begging for money in the second episode, so I'm like, okay, Vader doesn't give a fuck about these clones. Second best option, having Cody come back in Bad Batch season 2. I wonder if he has the chip removed. I wonder if he's
I feel like he doesn't, right? Because he's working with
yeah, it looks like he's working with the Republic Commandos, and I just want them to be like, "Yo, Rex is alive."
Well, there's a shot of him in what was the name of the sniper character? I can't even remember his name. Crosshair. The shot of him and Crosshair together.
Yeah,
but the Crosshair's still wearing like his Imperial outfit,
Right.
And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I hope they just try to get through to him, and maybe they call up Rex and they're like, "Yo, come get your boy." Like, let's have a.
Can you imagine if we get a scene similar to Reva telling Ben that Vader is alive, like somebody telling Cody, like, dude, Rex is alive, like, he's still out there, he can help you, man. I'm like, oh yeah, come on, let me see him.
I'm gonna bawl my fucking eyes out, bro. Let me tell
you. They'll play the music, they'll cut the camera in real close,
Oh yeah, I'll just be here sobbing, man.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars animation. I'm excited to get more.
Yeah.
I got to finish that first season. I'll report back.
Absolutely. Great show. Speaking of interesting Star Wars animation, we have a cool kind of side passion project that we get to see from the big man himself, Dave Filoni, known as Tales of the Jedi, a series of animated short stories that Filoni said that he used to just kind of like draft up on planes and stuff like during his downtime, and then showed it to one of his producers, and they were like, "Do you want to make this?" And he goes, well, "We can, I guess." But we get more insight on Jedi Count Dooku, and we get to see Ahsoka's mom,
Qui-Gon.
little boy Qui-Gon, like
voiced by Liam Neeson.
voiced by Liam Neeson's son.
Yeah, which is even
Damn.
cooler.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
hear that.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
then speaking of cool voice work as well, somebody else that's been in a lot of Star Wars projects now is that Ahsoka's mother, voiced by Janina Gavankar.
Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
She's yeah.
Which
Do we know if
which is neat.
Do we know if these stories are canon?
They are.
They
Yes.
are.
Yes.
See, because like when they first when there were rumors and whispers and like the initial announcement of the show, I was like, this is dope to explore a lot of the Star Wars universe and help like flesh out a lot of Jedi stories. And then this weekend they're like, yo, we're doing 6 and 3 of them are Ahsoka based and the other ones are Count Dooku. I'm like, we already have so much Ahsoka content. Like I was kind of hoping, maybe we got some Cal.
Filoni can't.
Finn.
Filoni can't let go of his girl.
I know, but it's
but it was also these were ideas for stories that he I think drafted up like while he was working on Clone Wars and Rebels. Like these have been in his back pocket for a long time.
How much
and were just kind of things that he was playing around. We know that parts of it are going to intersect with things that we learn in E.K. Johnston's Ahsoka novel, which is really interesting to see some of those things like animated.
Yeah.
I think Count Dooku stuff is all original though, which is cool. And so far 6 episodes. I assume if it does well, we'll get more.
How much do we know about Count Dooku as a Jedi? Like, are there canon comics about that or anything, or nothing?
There is a novel called Dooku Jedi Lost.
Okay.
That takes place during the time with when he's with the Jedi Order.
Got it.
It was very good. Highly recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah. I was hoping for a taller order from Disney, more than 6 episodes. Give my boy Finn some Jedi training in one of these episodes. Catch back up with Rey with the yellow saber. Have her some Cal, some stuff with Luke post Return of the Jedi, like building up the temple.
I get why they're kind of leaning into the prequel stuff right now with Obi-Wan and everything else kind of going on. I hope that this show does well enough that we can continue to get more stuff outside of the prequel era. I think that would be
100%.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
Filoni also just kind of noted that he's like, I love the Clone Wars style of animation so much that it's like I didn't want to kind of let it go, and this is an opportunity to keep doing that. So it's all based off of the artwork is all based off of stuff that they did for Clone Wars season 7, which is really, really cool.
Looked amazing. But
I just put the other Star Wars eras in that Clone Wars animation.
I know, right? Give me some sequel stuff, dude.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready to see it.
The first order trip, but in
I think
animation style.
Going with Ahsoka, I think it might just be just trying to get more people like attuned to seeing Ahsoka, getting ready for her own show.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just getting to know that character.
I'm curious what the public perception of Ahsoka is gonna be like, because it relies so much on such a large amount of animated stories that need to be seen before this. Like it's a sequel to 2 animated series. That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the movie. We don't talk about
the Hutt man. Come on, man.
We don't talk about the Hutt movie. But while we're talking about cool animation, though, a huge project that came out last year that was really, really interesting. That took hold called Star Wars Visions, and they did announce that we are getting another compilation of Star Wars Visions. I don't think they're calling them seasons. I think they're calling them like volumes or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But what's cool is that they're reaching out to studios outside of Japan this time. It's actually going to be global.
Cool.
So we're getting like some South American, Korean, Chinese. Like there's a bunch of different animation studios that are going to be working on projects for this one that I'm really, really excited about, because first season Visions was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to see. You go, Josh. Sorry, my bad.
That was it. Just a better What If than Marvel's What If.
Totally.
Honestly.
Yeah.
They need to do a Star Wars What If though. I just want to say that.
True.
Star Wars What If would be cool, because What If is it's kind of constrained to
the canon.
Still like at least like kind of making sense within it. Whereas Star Wars Visions, they can be like, yo, what if these twins fought
Umbrella
each other
lightsaber.
on top of Star Destroyers, and that they have a knob on the bottom of it that makes it explode?
Yeah.
Like,
it was fun to see all those like animation studios like try their hand at what they would do. And so like that was the most interesting part of it, even if all the episodes didn't exactly land, or weren't all great. It was still cool.
Got great music in that one episode.
The Tatooine band one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's always cool to see, especially what's funny is I think my favorite one is probably the first episode of that season, which is just what if Star Wars was a Kurosawa film.
Yep. That was the coolest.
And yeah, it's by far the coolest, to the point where they made a novel about it. I'd love to see them revisit that even more. Yeah, it's called Ronin. It follows the character from the from that episode. It's very interesting.
Lightsaber katana. Like, come on.
So yeah, I'm just
yeah.
stoked to see like what cool new ideas we
Yeah.
kind of get to see outside of that. Like that's love it.
Love it. I think there was one quote that was like, Star Wars and anime have a bright future together or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, they always paired well and they have a bright future together. So I'm like,
Interesting.
y'all are teasing me. Y'all are teasing me. Some, like, you know, we sometimes cover anime here and I just kind of, you know, smile and nod. I'm like, yep, pitch me on the anime. Do I ever watch it? No. Star Wars and anime?
Star Wars
Goddamn,
though.
I'll watch that in a heartbeat.
Star Wars though.
Star Wars anime
Imagine we
is
got a canon Star Wars animated
Right?
anime series. Like I think that would be really interesting.
Be cool.
Like, even going back
That'd be
to
a cool way.
like,
That'd be a cool way to visit like High Republic era. Is
Yeah.
making an anime series. Yeah.
so even go back to like the first volume, like that robot episode. Like, it started off a little weird. Like, I wasn't quite vibing with it, but by the end of it, it's like, come on, this is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Because they're short
think-
bursts. Like, you can finish it all in one sitting.
Oh, yeah. Do you think that's George Lucas's favorite episode?
Absolutely. Whatever the weirdest, least Star Warsy one. That's
the weird
Lucas's favorite one.
droid one is always going to be his favorite. you
Yeah.
know?
He
I
plays
think
it once
said-
a week. Yeah.
I think he said multiple times Jar Jar's his favorite Star Wars character. So
Of course
like,
it is.
yeah, the robot
Of
one is his
course.
favorite episode by far.
Of
No
course.
question about it.
Yeah.
It's either
His
either
favorite-
that one or the one about the rock band on Tatooine. It's one of
Yeah.
those two.
His favorite Clone Wars arc is the fucking weird 5 droids all traveling out. in the
Yeah, that's
desert
right.
together.
Oh my
it makes
God.
sense.
Right.
Really?
It makes sense.
Really?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of kind of odd Star Wars projects, I'm curious to see what the newly announced Star Wars Skeleton Crew is going to look like, because we know it's live action. We know it takes place around the same time as Ahsoka and Mandalorian and all of those shows. I almost said, what was it? The Heroes of the Republic? Not happening anymore.
Right.
But it's about it's lost in space in Star Wars with a bunch of kids, and then
Yeah.
also Dumbledore.
Right. And then
Jude Law.
Jude Law, yeah, sorry.
Took me a second to put that together.
Yeah. I've never heard Lost in Space. I heard Stranger Things, but the biggest thing that sold me on this, John Watts,
Yeah.
best
Yeah.
Spider-Man trilogy
Yeah.
director. That dude can do no wrong. Weird, like he's now off Fantastic Four, but he's making a Star Wars project.
Well,
so
you know,
what, I'm like,
He pops off of Fantastic Four and he's like, it's time to work on my own projects, you guys. Like, I'm done with the big budget stuff. And then, like, 3 weeks later, he's like, I'm doing a Star Wars show. All right,
I love
dude,
the
all
idea that
right.
he came out publicly. He's like, "Yo, I'm doing my own thing from
He
now on.
did.
I'm tired of all this corporate stuff." And Disney was like, "Here's the most money you've ever seen in your life." And he goes,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'll do a Star Wars show."
Yeah, exactly.
Wars
Like,
show,
yeah, I could do
It's,
Star Wars. Put a bunch of 10-year-olds in it, sure.
Maybe it's because it was a Star Wars show rather than a movie.
That might also be it.
Yeah.
So as far as we know, we heard very little outside of kind of the name. Jude Law's in it, and that there's a bunch of kids in it. It was a weird fact that just
Yeah.
kind of kept popping around. It's like, yeah, it stars a bunch of 10-year-olds.
You know, Jude
Yeah.
Law and 10-year-olds. What could go wrong? That's just
Could
it.
go wrong.
It's all like, what the fuck is this
Yeah.
show? You got to give me more than that.
Wasn't that like a
There-
Clone Wars or Rebels arc that like, or an episode or something where like they found like a kid, like a crew of kids like piloting a ship or something like that? It sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, you had the arc with the younglings all going to get their lightsabers.
Gunji.
Cad Bane shows up. Gunji,
Great.
who also appeared in the season 2 Bad Batch trailer. By the way, Gunji lives.
Yeah. Gunji
Yeah.
lives. There was a moment on the panel though, or when they were just talking about it, they did say like it was gonna be more of a darker show, but they're like, it'll have some like the same sort of vibe as Clone Wars, but then like Dave Filoni was like, yeah, but we behead people in Clone Wars, so like it's still like goes places.
Yeah.
So that's interesting in terms of like themes and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
excited to see more
It's-
for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned Stranger Things, and I can see them kind of wanting to tap into sort of that vibe of it, of
Oh,
like 10-year-olds solving mysteries or whatever. Like
Yeah, someone else said
I
Goonies,
like that
I
kind of
think.
things. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, see, I'm
Yeah.
down with that. That's fun.
Sold.
I'm here for that. Yeah, I'm on. Put
Yep.
put all of them lost in space on a spaceship. Sure, why not?
Mhm.
Jude Law's in there somewhere. We don't know if he's the villain or not, or what's happening with that, but
Who knows?
just, whatever. Speaking of things that I wish we knew more of, all of us here at Shared Screens are huge fans of one Jedi Fallen Order. We've been foaming at the mouth, right? We've been champing at the bit, waiting to hear
right.
more about the new Fallen Order sequel. Finally, it's been confirmed. Jedi Survivor 2023. Fun little salt on a teaser. Like, here's a little bit for you. Here's a tiny little bit. You animals eat this up, and I just went,
Oh, he did.
you know, I was,
Oh yeah.
woo! I've done a frame by frame analysis of this trailer already. I am here for it. I'm excited. There's a weird dude in a tube at the end of it. It looks like Raiden from Metal Gear Solid, but he's got one arm.
You know who it looks like, kind of, is Starkiller's mentor in Force Unleashed.
Rom
It looks
Koda,
like, yeah,
which is
bit.
what Josh said when we were talking about it. Yeah.
yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, in which I was like, you know, he's like brought back, like elements of that character's been taken and given to Kanan
Yeah.
in Rebels, but like still, even to have him recanonized and
Right.
back in,
It could be a completely different character, but if they name him Rom Koda, people will freak out. Like, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how he acts. If he's named Rom Koda, there he is, you know?
Yeah.
I've already seen some wild theories about what this trailer is. You know, people are already going off about this is a clone, they're a clone. It's always clones. People immediately go to clowns every
Yeah.
single time. And
That's
I'm
all
like,
I was
no,
saying. Hal's
probably
clone.
not. Probably not, because of little Star Wars Brotherhood back here. We do know, in fact, that you know, Cal Kestis was alive prior to.
Very cool.
Yeah, you see tiny little. It's a real small thing to where Anakin sees Jar Paul.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, and then it just kind of mentions the little redheaded youngling following him. So it's
so
back when
cool.
Cal was very, very young, and he kind of notes it. He's like, oh, he's got a new apprentice. Like,
Yeah.
so clearly he'd just become a Jedi. I sincerely doubt that he was a clone
Right.
a year after Attack of the Clones, right?
I mean, and we're seeing in this trailer like Cal's model looks a lot more lifelike, as if I know it's a CG trailer, as if they're getting ready for that, you know, live action debut.
It looks a little more like Cameron Monaghan, you know, look a little closer to his IRL appearance. So what we do know about this game is that it takes place 5 years after the previous one, which puts it happening in the same year as both Solo and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is fascinating. Prime time for some kind of imagine if everyone's like, what if Obi-Wan shows up and survive, and motherfucking Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo shows up in Jedi Survivor? I might pee my pants.
Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo, and then a 10-year-old Leia Organa.
I'll shit myself.
It's a weird age gap when you think things take place in the same year.
It is strange, yeah. You're not wrong about that. It's a little strange. I thought about that before. We did. It takes 5 years after the previous one. We don't know where any of the rest of the crew is. I have to know, where is Grease? Is he safe?
Greasy money.
Is he all right?
Yeah, God bless him.
He better be.
If they kill him, I'm uninstalling it on the spot.
I'm just throwing it out. I'm burning all of my Star Wars merchandise.
Yeah.
Best girl better be okay. We see a Paulan Imperial Senator, confirmed by Respawn that he is a Paulan Imperial Senator who is delivered a box that he opens it, and it's got Cal's lightsaber in it, which is a new lightsaber. I might add, it's not dual ended. He's got a new like little
Hook
end
on the
cap.
bottom.
Yeah. It's also blue. I don't know if there was a canon decision for what lightsaber color he ends the first game with. Apparently he kept it blue.
Should have been purple with my pink poncho, you know. That's the way I
I assumed because they released that Black Series figure, I figured maybe they'd gone green for his canon like new saber. But blue's iconic, you know. You got to keep the blue, whatever. And I'm sure we'll be able to change it again in the game too. It's
what a great game with a great story. Like, I'm so glad that it's canon. Like, there's so much good stuff in there that is just builds on everything we know and everything we want to learn.
Yeah,
it's so sick.
Yeah, you know, for the longest time, I figured I was kind of over like the Jedi story, right? I was like, I don't need more like Jedi story. And then I played that one. I went, nah, give it. You know what? I lied. Everyone wants to be a Jedi, and it's cool to kind of go back down that journey again. With Cal and do it in such a way to where he's like, yeah, he's an audience surrogate, but also kind of at the same time, he's still his own character. And you know, of course, we get BD1 and Grease in this really cool cast, and Triller I thought was an incredible antagonist, and so I'm curious to see where the second one goes, because I mean, Darth Vader knows who he is now.
Oh
He
yeah.
faced Darth
yeah.
Vader at the end of Fallen Order. Spoiler, by the way,
Yeah.
we're talking about the second one, so that's on you, really.
Xbox spoiled it for you the month before it came out, or whatever,
Seriously
2 weeks
though,
before it came out,
it was like 3
it's
days after
weird.
launch. They had a fucking Super Bowl commercial that had Darth Vader in it.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
I'm
like,
glad I
I'm
beat the
glad I
game by that
finished
point.
it.
Yeah.
God.
But Darth Vader knows Cal's alive. Apparently, this Imperial senator knows who he is and is like buying his lightsaber from him. There's this weird dude that looks like he only has one arm that Cal duels, and then also I had to put this together, right? The amount of times I've watched this trailer, okay, is like the dude with the red lightsaber appears to only have one arm. Fights him first, second. Cal drops his lightsaber, whatever. But then he goes to the tube. We see Raiden in the tank, one arm,
Could be the same character.
one
Yeah.
arm. And initially I was like, well, that angle might not show up. But if you watch earlier in the trailer, there's a shot from underneath, like the bottom of the tube looking up, right? One arm.
Very interesting.
Is it this?
I have
is
no-
it the
Huh?
guy you duel with the white long hair that you like bury underground. I can't remember that dude's name.
Oh,
I know what he was
Dathomir.
Dathomir.
Dathomir, the
The
boss fight
Yeah.
there.
He
Oh
has
yeah,
two
that
arms.
guy's interesting.
Yeah, but he gets buried under some rocks, so maybe he loses one because of the rock. And then he gets
Malicos.
from the cube. Malicos, 100% could be Malicos.
Could be. I
No
don't
one's
know.
ever truly dead in Star Wars. You get buried underground in Dathomir.
How'd he get in the
but
tank?
Get cut in
you're
half.
the tube. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Just
If
need
you
some time
don't
in the
kill
back.
somebody, and then sometimes also if you stab them, like maybe the Grand Inquisitor, it still might be around. Who knows?
A little while.
One. I'm just curious so because we in Fallen Order you spend all your skill points getting Cal leveled up and experienced. What force powers do they keep for this game?
I'm glad you asked. Because I'm curious to know what you guys think. I think we might get Metroided a little bit here.
You think they're just going to
Something's
take
gonna
us down to the
happen.
bottom?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that would be terrible.
I hope it's a Arkham City sort of situation where you boot up Arkham City and you have all the equipment
just
from
there.
Asylum, and then you just build up new
Get
skills
more.
and
That's
get
kind of what I'm
even
thinking.
more gadgets. So hopefully you start off with the climbing gloves, and BD1 can go up and down zip lines and all that shit.
I'm assuming what's going to be is I think you'll already be able to slow pull. Double jump, push. You'll have all of that already, but it'll all be baseline stuff because I assume they're going to have new combat abilities, right? So I don't know that we'll have all of the same ones, but I think we'll have all of the baseline stuff immediately, and then that'll go
Kind of like what they did
in
in
new
Horizon,
in Forbidden West.
Forbidden West, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I hope it is. I hope we don't get Metroided or God of War.
Oh yeah,
to where they just pull it. They let you play with it 5 minutes and they go, whoop, sorry.
Yeah.
I would be very mad. I'll still play it, but I'll be angry about it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also just curious, kind of see what the combat's going to look like, because they're showing a single bladed lightsaber again.
Yeah.
And I mean, I might be in the minority. I'm okay if they decide not to put the double blade back in the.
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah,
game.
me too.
Yep.
I didn't use it very much personally, so it's just kind of annoying when I'd have to switch to it. I'd rather they find a way to be able to kind of work those same abilities, like the crowd control and the cool laser blocking into a single blade. I think they could do that and not have to pull up on the D-pad and then go back to single because I'm fighting one person again. But I'm still interested on it. We also do know Respawn already confirmed that we started working on this game before the first one shipped. So every story point, and I think in gameplay change, this is going to be very, very intentional because it's already building off of what they'd already made.
Yeah.
So that's cool that the story with this was made in mind where they're the first one's not, people don't even have the first one yet. This is a complete story that they're making. There's nothing reactionary going on here, which is
exciting.
Cool.
So exciting.
Yeah. Which
Big fan
that
of
makes sense. That makes sense because Daddy Grub for the longest time was it's coming 2022. It's on its way. If they don't get it out, they're gonna go for first quarter or first half, 2023, which I think is the case.
Yes.
So it's cool knowing that they've just been working on this the whole time.
Yeah, I believe it's spring 2023. So I would assume probably a March release date. I feel like that's the most likely. Late March, early April, even.
Maybe even May 4th.
February.
May 4th would be cool.
Maybe.
Right.
May 4th would be really cool, honestly. And I also think, just because you're on shared screens, maybe go check this out when we release it. But the Xbox Bethesda showcase is coming up soon. Xbox originally had the marketing deal for Jedi Fallen Order, and there were a lot of Xbox people that were tweeting specifically about Jedi Survivor and none of the other Star Wars stuff last weekend. So
Interesting.
That would be insane.
Steinekin himself was at Star Wars Celebration
on Game Pass.
Game Pass would be sick, dude.
Oh my God.
You guys think it could be exclusive? You guys think they go exclusive with the second one?
No,
Nah.
I don't think so. But I
with
can't
as much
see them
money
trying
as
to
they
work it
made.
in on a Game Pass. Although,
with the talk of EA acquisition,
it's an EA game though.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't exclusive, the fact that it'd probably release on EA Play, right?
Yeah.
Which is on Game Pass.
Well,
I can see them going.
They probably do like the trial and then a few months down the road put it there,
right?
Or a year or whatever.
I could see them matching KOTOR Remake because KOTOR Remake is a timed exclusive on PlayStation, and so I could see them being petty and being like
firing back, be like, "No, we get it for a year." Yeah,
even though Xbox already gets Indiana Jones, so you know what? Maybe we just call the.
There was a leak this week. Leak this week says it's not exclusive.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Holy shit! Oh my God, let's go.
I know.
Holy shit!
We'll see.
I'm assuming Indiana Jones is going to be Game Pass, but not exclusive. That's what I'm thinking.
That's like best case scenario.
Yeah.
All the stuff
Well, I mean, you also have to think like fucking like MLB The Show is on Game Pass these days, and that's a PlayStation Studios game. Like that's it could go any direction here, and I love that. You know what else can go any directions? Legos when you drop them. You know what got announced also this weekend and when available for pre-order is a Lego BD1. Did I miss the pre-order because I didn't have $100 lying around that I could throw out? Absolutely. Do I have a cousin who works at a Lego store nearby and I told you better fucking text me the moment you see this thing? Yes, I do.
It's available on Amazon to pre-order still, so you're good to go.
I don't have the money for it, but hopefully it's still there when I do. Hopefully it's still there when I do. But I'm very excited just to kind of see that sort of like Fallen Order love. It was cool to see a different BD droid show up in Book of Boba Fett as well. There have been. It's always cool to kind of see parts of the Star Wars universe sort of recognized in a merchandise kind of way like that, right? And there's a lot of very, very cool merchandise that was shown off at Celebration. A lot of it was Celebration exclusive, which made me very mad because they had a whole line of apparel that was based around Dex's Diner. For the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, they were even selling like a neon sign that said Dex's Diner in Orabesh and stuff. The coffee cups. They also had a real fucking dark joke of a T-shirt and a coffee mug that was called Aunt Beru's Dark Roast. God damn.
That's brutal. Is that official?
It's official. No, it's for real.
I think
real. It was released by Star Wars at Celebration.
God.
Those are the same guys, though, that gave us the real treat of Star Wars Celebration by quote or replying to that one dude and being like,
"Oh yeah,
plus ratio."
Best moment from Celebration.
The official Star Wars Twitter account said, "Talk shit, get hit." You know what I mean?
So I think it's just that these like interns or fucking goofball 24-year-olds that are like, let's just do dark humor.
I mean, they were also selling flags that had Anakin's face on them that said like "I don't like sand" and stuff. Like they know what they're doing over there.
Yeah,
you know, they know what they're doing.
They know they're fans. They know that it's basically millennials at this point.
And that we can all kind of take a joke about the prequels now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, we find this thing funny, and so that's cool to see. But it's like seeing like BD1 represented there, or all of the new Legacy Sabers and stuff. There's a lot of really, really cool merch that came out across like the Hasbro panels, all of the actual like apparel and stuff that they were selling. Heroes and Villains had their own panel. There's the Galaxy's Edge, the Disney Parks, like all that stuff. And so with just the sheer amount of merchandise, was there anything that kind of spoke to you guys that y'all thought was interesting? Because I've got a couple if you guys don't have anything locked and loaded.
So Qui-Gon Saber. Qui-Gon's one of my favorite. Qui-Gon's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. So
I'm a big fan of the Legacy Sabers too. Like I've got Ben Solos here, and it's just they're so high quality. Like they're so nice to hold. Like they're metal, they're heavy. Like they look good. I don't have any of the blades near me, unfortunately, but yeah, getting Qui-Gon's is really, really neat.
Yeah, that's massive.
And also Sidious's and Plo Koon's was announced too.
Yeah.
So all three of those are released, and they're doing
Sidious
another
cool
vote.
one.
They're doing another vote, by the way, and they have a bunch of like Clone Wars era lightsabers that you can go vote for. One of them is Kanan Jarrus's lightsaber. So
Caleb Doom.
That's pretty sick.
Highly recommend checking checking that out. Unfortunately, and this is kind of a sad one though, it's like with all of these new legacy sabers coming out, they have announced that they are retiring for the first time now some of their sabers, including
really?
two of the ones that I wanted. Which Obi-Wan's episode 1 and 2 lightsaber is going away. Fuck you, dude. The white Ahsoka lightsabers are going away. The Skywalker saber is going away, which is an odd choice.
Yeah,
that's a strange choice, I think.
Yeah,
like the Graflex saber is going away, that's weird, right? Like that's a strange choice, I think. And there were a couple others, but those three are the ones that stood out to me where I was like, damn.
Is there has to be like a different version of it still available, like maybe with the leather strap on it, like Rise of Skywalker?
The leather strap one is still around. Yeah.
Oh,
the Rise of Skywalker one is sticking around, which is a mistake. I think. I think that one's ugly.
You're trying. You got to get some more sales before you retire that one.
Like, please take. No one's buying this one. Hey, so they did say that they're willing to come back, but most of it is probably likely going to be in like limited edition boxes or like sales or whatever.
Vaulted.
Like, I don't think they're going to be vaulted. They're going to be limited releases from here on out, which is again with Ahsoka coming out soon. It's a strange choice to vault the white sabers. But still, lots of other cool merch. I know you said Qui-Gon saber. Josh, I assume you got one. Bob, I don't know if you have one. Mr. Vincent there.
I don't have any sabers.
No worries.
0.
For me, for merch, like Hasbro dominates the West, so you don't really see. Like I'm a figure arts guy through and through. Like if I can get the figure arts variant, I will. But like Hasbro wants that dominance on the 6-inch market in the States, so we only really saw Hasbro stuff from there.
Yeah.
And the big standout for me was Season 7 Maul, which about time. It's coming out. The rest of the line though, Walmart exclusive from 2 years ago. So good luck finding Ahsoka or the Ahsoka Trooper or a Mandalorian loyalist or one of the Mandalorian figures with the cool Darth Maul helmets. Hasbro, take the fucking L. Admit your fault and put them out as an archive wave when this figure drops. But also, like the Hasbro pipeline is like back the fuck up.
It's not good.
And
I don't understand because the Marvel one is unbelievable. Like I don't know why Marvel is so much more on top of it than the Star Wars line.
Even through the pandemic, it's fucking insane.
Because I've got a bunch of like the Obi-Wan figures. Like I have all of the Inquisitors and Obi-Wan pre-ordered January is when these come out.
So
next year.
And at that point, it's like I'll just wait for the figure arts because like I'm sure the figure arts is destined to get announced as soon as the show ends, and I feel like they'll do a limited wave. But Bandai's still there in a different direction where they're doing the samurai figures. So like you get a samurai
that's
variant.
tight.
Kylo Ren.
They're very cool. I've got a Snowtrooper one.
Exactly. And so they confirmed the Book of Boba Fett one. So it's Book of Boba Fett and a Shogun. You get the throne. He's got a smoke blaster.
These are sick.
They're putting out a fan vote of who you want to see. There's an Akbar, which is super funny to me, getting a fucking samurai Akbar. That would be.
Go vote for IG-11.
I want to vote for that one so bad because I love it for the memes, but IG-11 sounds like it's taking the cake, and that is A-okay.
IG-11 looks sick, and also we have like 2 Samurai Mandalorians already, so I'm really hoping.
Exactly. So Mando's gonna get beat out for sure, but like IG-11 with the little like rice hat looking thing, so fucking cool to me. Yeah,
so sick.
Just like blasters. I hope that one wins.
So
these are
sick.
Tight.
That whole line of figures is so rad. I can't recommend them, and they're really high quality too. So like, definitely get 1 or 2 of those. Put them up in your house. They're really really tight. If you can find it, go look at the Darth Maul one. The Darth Maul one is really fucking cool.
Okay.
And so another one I just wanted to point out real fast. If you guys want to get an early idea of what some of the enemies in Jedi Survivor are going to look like, we got 3 Jedi Survivor figures listed as part of the Vintage Collection. So you can see the new designs for the Scout Riot Trooper, for the KX droids, and for a new enemy in Jedi Survivor, the Magna Guards.
The boys are back.
Those are gonna be so tough.
I'm so excited.
They're gonna be so tough to fight.
I can't believe it. Yeah, it's like
It makes so much sense, though, right? Like,
yeah.
here's something made specifically for fighting against Jedi, and I'm so here for it.
Right,
Yeah.
and like we kind of got something similar to that with the Purge Troopers. One of them had like this stick similar to the electric sticks that the guards hold. It's just cooler to have those boys come back. I'm so
They're dope.
Yeah,
And a staff you can't cut through.
Yeah,
Of course.
God damn.
I'm so stoked on it. I can't wait for the KX droid who now has a stun baton to just fucking milli rock my shit, dude. Like,
already just beating the shit out of you, picking you up, slamming you down, wailing on you. Now he's a stun baton. So, thanks, Respawn.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Did you guys see any of the High Republic panel that happened during
Unfortunately, I missed it, and I wanted to.
Guys, it was my most like exciting part of the whole thing. Like watching it got me so excited for what they have planned in books, comics. They have like manga that's going to be canon and a new series, like a new trilogy. So I got I'm reading through this guy right now, which is like the first of the trilogy. It's real good so far. It's not bad. And then they're doing a new trilogy with different characters. But with the same thing, and apparently that like this trilogy and then the next trilogy that they're doing is going to tie in via the Starlight Beacon, which is like a big hub of peace, I guess, in the High Republic. And that's what the show Alkalite will be about, is all about Starlight Beacon. So
that's
like the
exciting.
books, I know it's like it's got me so excited.
I know we'd heard that the Acolyte stuff was going to take place during the High Republic era, like right at the tail end of it. I didn't know it was going to be around the Starlight Beacon. That's really cool. That's
kind of what they hinted at. I mean, it's not for sure anything, but the whole talk is like 45 minutes. I highly recommend it if you guys want to.
That's so exciting. That was my biggest omission from all the Disney Plus stuff, as like where's some of the High Republic? Where's Acolyte? Where's just like Acolyte in general? But yeah, no, like I've seen some of the comic covers and stuff like that, and it's just
there's
that era.
One that's going to be about a lightsaber master that I'm really, really excited about. That I cannot remember the name of now off the top of my head. I'm not normally an issue by issue comics kind of guy.
Right.
That my current exception right now is that I've been picking up single issues of She-Hulk and also of the new Han Solo and Chewbacca series, which is kind of like a spiritual sequel to Solo, and it's been a lot of fun.
Cool.
Okay, the High Republic.
Yeah, I
comic.
as I typically do, I get high, go to a comic book store, and I saw some of these High Republic comics, and there was a Hut wearing some armor pieces, and I was like, this is so dope, but this is already 5 issues in, and my brain just can't handle a Hut wearing some armor right now. This is insane. But High Republic, I want there to be more like a game or a visual format for that.
I mean, we're gonna get a really shitty David Cage game.
Oh,
that I will not
in like 5 years.
Yeah, it's irritating, isn't it? It's really it's really irritating that the first High Republic video game is going to be from David in my games. All the women are whores cage. So that's really cool. That's really cool. Thanks Disney. God damn. I'm so mad about it still. Fucking
you should
get him off the project.
Because we were doing a game awards watch party in the Discord, and you should have seen Chris. Yeah, that whole entire flip flop of everybody, because we could tell it was the Star Wars thing.
We're like, oh shit, this is Star Wars, and then it goes High Republic, and we're like, ah! And then it's whatever the fucking name of the studio is. Quantum Dream, and then we all went.
Oh
yeah, that game's never coming out. That game will be canceled. Like I would put money on it.
I don't see it coming. It's reportedly lots and lots of very troublesome production already.
Yeah.
To the point where I believe they're still having trouble staffing the thing. So
yeah.
So good riddance. Fuck them. I hope that game never comes out. In lighter news, the last thing that I wanted to touch on today is a fun little project, because I've loved every release that they've done for these cool little side features so far, is the Lego Summer Vacation Special. I'm so here for this one. The moment I saw Finn in a floral shirt, fuck yeah, dude. Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
I want all those vibes. I want that as a skin in the Skywalker Saga game, bro.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure it is.
Their Christmas special was excellent. The Halloween special was excellent. They're so great at just putting out these fun little
they're fun.
little sequel era Lego specials, and I'm so happy to just have something that's carefree and happy. You know,
I'd say because they won't give us anything else for the sequel trilogy.
I know.
Tell me about
that
it.
was the Jedi. That was the chance.
Lego out here groundbreaking, man.
Literally. Is it the same writers as the games?
I don't think so. I think the animated Lego stuff are different people.
Interesting.
But they do end up being really similar in the types of humor though that like
Yeah.
You know,
they know their audience.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yeah, it'll be funny.
Yeah,
it'll be funny, and that's the important part. I mean, I still think about the one moment in the Christmas special, right? Which had a bunch of like time hopping stuff, like time travel stuff, and you ended up with 3 different eras of Obi-Wans all sitting next to each other, and they all like fall down. And they look up at each other like, "Hello there, hello there, hello there," like all through. It's so good. And so I was just like, yeah, no, just give me more of that. I'm so here for it. Well, guys, Celebration was great. I loved it. I hope you guys loved it, and I hope all of you that have been watching and listening today also enjoyed our talks here. They enjoyed the show. The next one is in London, so I guess Shared Screen's probably not going to be attending that one, but maybe 2024. You know,
there you go.
Maybe look forward to a correspondent from one of our European friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. We're gonna hit up our boy Craig. But thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate you being here. We'd like to hear your favorite part of Star Wars Celebration. Kuzco, please, not while I'm signing off, bud. Drop in the comments what your favorite part of Celebration is. Like, subscribe, and all this stuff. I love you, but thank you so much. We'll see you at the next waypoint. Kuzco, please.